watching Compton Rick Rock TV. Let's get to the content.
You know what I've been thinking about? I've been thinking about the messages that was in Nolan Wells' cell phone. At what time were they deleted? And why were they deleted? Allegedly, these messages vanished, disappeared. At what time and what point did they? Did it happen before his disappearance or after? That's the big part right there. Now we're going to find out more detail and get more in tune on what's going on with these deleted messages. Let's go.
Nolan Wells bombshell tonight. The dead teen's messages deleted after his body washes ashore. Good evening. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. I want to thank you for being with us.
I like how she broke that down. Ooh, the way she came in was chilling. She came in meaning business. Oh, she's serious about this. She's serious. Now, that's what I want to know. I want to know about these text messages. Let's go.
18-year-old football star Nolan Wells heads to Horn Island with his friends to celebrate the 4th of July. But hours later, after he doesn't return to shore, his friends report him missing, launching a desperate search across the water.
They met that day, and it was kind of one of those things. It did come off that day that he really did like her, but that was the only time they'd ever hung out was at Horn Island on July 4th.
We're sinking. Can you all please come?
And is everybody on board in good health otherwise?
Yeah, everybody's on board.
From our friends at GMA, no, everyone was not on board. Nolan was not on board. And who's the mysterious girl he met for the very first time the day he goes missing? His body.
Her name is Katie, man. Her name is Katie, and he was on her daddy boat with her. Well, we didn't see her, but allegedly that was her daddy's boat. Her name is Katie.
Body spotted by the United Cajun Navy, washed ashore. We have obtained that photo. We are choosing tonight not to show it. That last sound from our friends at NBC joining me in all-star panel, but first straight out to Todd Terrell, representing the United Cajun Navy, participating in the water search for Nolan Wells. Todd, thank you for being with us. What did you observe?
You know, Horn Island, that area right there is an area that we have seaplanes that we operate back and forth to the island, taking people back and forth fishing, or oil field workers, you know, back off to rigs and stuff. That morning, the body was observed on the northwest portion of Horn Island, which is not unusual for someone to drown and be washed up in that area. There was a park ranger that was on the island that actually had spotted the body, and we were calling in down to law enforcement officials on the ground what we saw from the air.
Todd Terrell joining us from the United Cajun Navy, called in to participate in the water search for this young star athlete, Nolan Wells. Tonight, mystery swirling around his death.
Now, let me stop right there, y'all. Did y'all see that island? I'm going to take it back. Let me take it back just a little bit. Y'all bear with me. Let's watch this stuff right here. Where we at, man? Where's the doggone thing? All right, right here. So, pay attention to this island, man. It's nothing on there. It's no, I don't see a camera in sight on there. Nothing on there. It's no stores, no buildings, no nothing. Who hangs out at a spot like this, man?
Someone to drown and be washed up in that area. There was a park ranger that was on the island that actually had spotted the body, and we were calling in down to law enforcement officials on the ground what we saw from the air.
Todd Terrell joining us from the United Cajun Navy, called in to participate in the water search for this young star athlete, Nolan Wells. Tonight, mystery swirling around his death. How is it that a group of his friends go out on a boat? They go to a remote Horn Island. There is nobody there. It's uninhabited. There are no phones. There are no bathrooms. It's just a hangout place.
Right. Wait, hold up. There's no bathrooms. If it ain't no bathrooms, where they use the bathroom at? Do they walk towards the water to use the bathroom? Is it possible that a body could get pulled using the restroom in the water? I didn't think about that. No bathrooms there, huh? They need to shut that place down, man.
How does he end up dead on the shore and everybody else makes it back? I want you to hear one more time what the group is saying about that day.
They met that day, and it was kind of one of those things. It did come off that day that he really did like her, but that was the only time they'd ever hung out was at Horn Island on July 4th.
From our friends at GMA, who is she? Where is she? What, if anything, did she have to do, if there is a she, with Nolan's death? That's from our friends at GMA. Back to you, Todd Terrell. And I'm about to go to Caitlin Becker, a senior national correspondent, New York Post, on the story from the get-go. Todd, you stated to me that it's, quote, not unusual for bodies to wash ashore in that spot.
Well, if that's the case, then why they allowing people to go to that spot? That place should have been closed. Off limits, not safe. Plenty of people then lost their lives there. Should nobody be allowed there? Who owns that island?
What do you mean by that? Because if it was that common, wouldn't this be designated a dangerous area and there would be warning signs? What do you mean it's not unusual? I find that hard to believe.
Well, many areas along the coast of the whole Gulf Coast area is a dangerous area. You know, I don't believe they could put up signs anywhere. I think it should be known that these are bad areas. The rip current is very bad in that northwestern portion. We call it the washing machine, actually. It's an area where the current just rolls round and round in there, kind of like a washing machine. And one of the interesting things was where Nolan was found was probably pretty close to where the incident occurred. So the body didn't go that far.
Okay, what incident? Was there an incident? Are you suggesting Todd Terrell, joining us tonight from the United?
The last guy says like a stream that goes in direction. Now he trying to say it's a washing machine. Y'all know what a washing machine do? Go round and round. So he trying to say the body went around and it came back in the same spot that he was found missing at. Knock it off. The last video I did, they say the body in that same area where he was at flowed all the way to another part of wherever it got found at. So now, it's a washing machine, man. These people good.
Cajun Navy, our friends, by the way, at the United Cajun Navy. They are called in on many missing persons case. Todd, you stated the incident. What incident? You mean he didn't drown?
We're saying that whatever happened, we're calling an incident. Our job as United Cajun Navy is to bring people home, back to their families, first of all, alive, second of all, recover the body if possible. We knew in this case, the time frame that was involved, that we were looking for a recovery at this point. But when I said the incident, something happened to make Nolan not be with us anymore. It appears as though it was a drowning. You know, there was a lot of rumors about him being brought back to the land 10 miles away and brought back out there and dumped off. I don't believe any of that is true. Whatever happened in that water, we're calling the incident. You know, the water goes from 2 to 3 foot to like 20 feet real quick. You know, there was some underage kids out there drinking. It's an island, there's no IDs being checked or anything like that. So when we said an incident, there's anything that could have happened. And not every person that drowns do you hear screaming and hooping and hollering. But at this point, our job was to bring Nolan home, and we did that.
What was observed? Guys, you're seeing right now from our friends at the United Cajun Navy the video taken from their aerial craft. On the beach, you see a grouping of individuals. Now, from another source, we have obtained photos of Nolan's body that we are not showing. It's just not right. But I can tell you,
I'm glad y'all got some integrity over there at this channel right here, Nacy Gray. I like that. She didn't want to show the pictures. You shouldn't show the pictures. You should want to show them out of respect for the parents. If the parents haven't showed them, I don't think nobody on social media should be posting them. I'm glad y'all got it, because if this was in the hood, they would have went over there and took pictures and had it flowing all through social media.
when you see that grouping of people on the beach, they look like little ant figures from this high up above, but that is where Nolan's body is. They're standing around it. As I recall, Todd Terrell, Nolan was face down, still fully clothed on the beach. Is that
Wait, is so the video that we showing right now? Let me blow it up a little bit for you guys. I see people down there. I see boats down there. Is this the rescue team that's supposed to have found his body? It's a few people down there. So I'm not sure if that's what we looking at right there or not. I just noticed that looking at the picture just now.
correct?
Yes, that is correct. He was face down, which would have meant that he drowned. Now, when we say he was found fully clothed on the beach, it was in the same vicinity of where he possibly drowned, right there. So it was not uncommon for the body to have washed up right there. That being said, that area full of rip currents really strong right there goes from 2 to 3 foot to 20 feet pretty much within a couple steps. So that being said, whatever happened really, really close to where the body was found.
Todd Terrell, I don't mean
That's kind of dangerous, man. That's kind of dangerous. Let's just say, let's look at it from all angles, right? Let's just say, you walk in the water, use the restroom in the bushes, the area, anything. You want to walk in the water, get your feet wet, and you take another step, and it's 20 feet down now. In a few steps. Now it's 20 feet. You don't have nothing to grab, nothing to hold on to. Waves could possibly be pulling you. The current could be pulling you. You trying to swim, but it's too strong. That's dangerous, man. I think it should have been some signs, or it should have been some instructions letting people know before they even went there. Listen, be careful in this area, or it should be blocked off.
to be giving you a hard time. This is not about you. The United Cajun Navy are the protagonists in this scenario. You're the good guys. I've just got so many questions about how this happened. Was there anyone else on Horn Island when Nolan's body was found?
Now, there was the park ranger was out there, and there was some law enforcement officials that actually had their boats anchored out there. They were kind of like waiting around for a call of what to do. What people don't realize is when you're looking for a body on the water, especially in the Gulf where you have waves going and you have white caps, it's a little bit harder to see. When you're in a boat, you can only kind of see the vicinity around you. So we put these seaplanes up in the air, we can get a much more visual of the much more bigger area. And these seaplanes can go low and slow. So what we do is we stay in contact with the officials on the ground and tell them what we see. And if they see something too, they can relay it up to us and we can go investigate it. So in this case, there were several law enforcement boats that were just kind of hanging out in the area on the island. And there was numerous other boats in the area, circling and looking. But the body was found by a park ranger as it washed up on the beach.
I'm very curious, Todd. Guys, joining us, Todd Terrell with United Cajun Navy. When I said, was anyone else on the island when Nolan's body was found? Your answer was completely 100% accurate, but let me rephrase and refine my question. You're saying the park ranger found him. That leads me to believe there were no friends. There was no newly met girlfriend. So am I left to believe that he goes out swimming all on his own? And
Right. Unless, like I say, unless he went to go use the restroom. But even if he went to go use the restroom and he's talking to a woman, young lady, I don't know how old she is, I'm gonna say young lady. He gonna say, "I'll be right back. I use the restroom," right? Or did they depart? Nobody was there when he walked away wherever he went. So you mean to tell me that the island was just empty? He was the only one left behind. So how he was gonna get back? How he was gonna catch a ride back? Nobody seen him. Nobody heard him saying, "Help! Help!" Nobody heard nothing. All right.
the friend girl leaves, the mates from school leave, everybody just leaves him out in the water and he dies and then just conveniently washes ashore? Somebody just left him out in the water? Does that make sense to you, Todd Terrell?
It don't make sense to me. I love this woman right here. I love her. Man, she asking the right questions. She asking the right questions.
Well, being a person that goes to this island and several other areas that you can only get to by boat. We have some restaurants and bars in Louisiana that you can only get to by boat, which means you have to hitch a ride with somebody on a boat or that has a boat to get there. which a lot of things could go wrong in that scenario. But as far as what we believe, I believe that Nolan went out there with a group of friends. They were friendly, obviously so, because he was even out there. I mean, you got to understand, to go to an island, you have to have a boat, which means you have to have friends, which you have to have people that kind of like you.
Nolan didn't have no boat. He went with his friends on a boat. He didn't have a boat. He got left. Or something happened where he didn't make it back on the boat. That's for sure. Where the rest of the boats was at. Hey, homie. Hey, friends. Friends, y'all go ahead and leave. Y'all go ahead and leave. I'm going to stay back, friends. I'm going to catch another boat. Well, what boat was he supposed to catch back? Who was he supposed to ride back? Just walk up to some random person and say, hey, can I ride back with y'all? It was a picture allegedly of him on her father's boat. There's so many turns and so many twists. They said he was brought back. I can't wait till we find out what really happened.
To even bring you out there. So when Nolan got out there, the group of guys he was with, you know, they decided to come in a little bit earlier. They were having some engine trouble on their boat, which is not uncommon. Happens a lot. Nolan, for whatever reason, decided to stay on the island, which is not uncommon. He could have, you know, had this girl he was talking to. He could have just, for whatever reason, decided to stay. Not uncommon. That doesn't give us any reason to think foul play or anything was involved there. The issue is, when he stayed on the island, he had to hitch a ride back in with somebody. And there's where the issue becomes. Who did he hitch a ride back in exactly? How were these people connected to him? How do they know him? And it's not uncommon for you not to know somebody at all and just say, hey, I need a ride back in.
No, that ain't what we do. No, we don't just say, hey, can I get a ride back? They might say, no, we don't have enough room on the boat. We don't have enough room on the boat. We can't. We got to know exactly who we riding back with. We're not just jumping on the boat. Hey, can I get a ride with y'all? That ain't how it works. Especially if you don't know nobody. That ain't how that works.
Say, yeah, come on, get in the boat with us. So if I say, hey, Nancy, come on, get in the boat with us, that means at that point, we're responsible for you.
But Todd, here's my issue. Again, I agree with what you said, but the critical moment is somebody had to leave him there alone for the rest of the scenario that you're describing to unfold. He had to be alone. And
exactly. Oh, I love this lady.
And Todd, and I'm going to bring in the rest of the panel. I want you to hear this. That is from Anna Moore on Snapchat, and you have to listen very intently to hear what she claims is being said. Todd Terrell, United Cajun Navy, please don't move. Joining me now, Caitlin Becker, the senior national correspondent, New York Post. She is the star of New York Post Cast. New York Post Cast. That's her podcast. Caitlin, thank you for being with us. Now, according to what this Anna Moore on Snapchat has revealed.
All right. Pretty this week cover. I want to get to the part where the messages was deleted at. Let's see if we can get to that part.
Nolan said,
yes,
my freaking phone. What are you freaking doing?
That's what a witness told us, and that's what we reported out. Then another witness had come forward and said, no, that was his voice. We have other witnesses who said there were other altercations. So, as Mr. Hurt said, we're trying to go through it all and so forth. And we'll be even more careful to say this is what a witness told us in the future.
And so your team hasn't been able to look fully into that to confirm whether it was or was not Nolan that said that?
No, we have audio people doing it, but we know certain people said it was him, and then certain people said it was not him.
That is
all right. So they talking about the argument that went on the boat. People were saying it was him. We had another guy coming out saying that wasn't Nolan. That was me getting into it with them. But the mother said, I don't know him. I never seen him. But we did see a picture with him and Nolan Wells. Now let's get to the point. I guess we get to the point where they're going to talk about the message being deleted from the cell phone.
It's our friend, high-profile lawyer Ben Crump. And the last thing you want is him 3 inches up your tailpipe. Okay, that's from our friends at Fox 10. So this is where it stands. Who left him there? Is there really a Katie? Did he stay with her? Did he leave with his friends? How did he end up there alone, which I find very, very disturbing. And also back to Caitlin Becker joining us, senior national correspondent, New York Post, star of NY Post Cast. The Postcast instead of podcast, it's the Postcast. Caitlin, now allegations have reared their ugly head that his phone has been tampered with and items have been deleted. Explain.
They had his phone. And when his mother was looking for his phone when he was missing, there were two different ways to identify it, either a Snapchat location or a Life 360 location. They showed different locations, which is very possible because one updates automatically, the other only updates when you open the app. But when she finally tracked it down, she says there was nothing on it from that day. And this is a teenager. This is a teenager who is constantly on their phones.
All teenagers, adults. I even seen senior citizens scrolling on TikTok and Facebook. Yeah, senior citizens is addicted to the phones. That's odd. Go out with your friends and you don't record nothing. It's nothing on that island to not read. Come on, man. It's boring on that island. Of course, you're gonna be on your phone.
Yes, when you're on a boat like this and you're out there, you leave it on the boat because you can't really get it wet and you don't want to have it come to the beach with you because you have to actually go in the water to get there. But to have the phone from these friends who didn't willingly turn it over, didn't give it to investigators, didn't give it to his mom, just had it. And for her to open it up and say, I see nothing from that day, no Snapchats, no photos. It looked like things were missing, like there was a gap in the timeline of the life cycle of his phone.
Okay, I've got another problem regarding his phone. And well, number one, to Dr. Janie Lacey, joining us, licensed psychotherapist, CEO of Life Counseling Solutions, author of, well, many books, but How to Heal from a Toxic Relationship, and she's the star of Let's Talk About It with Janie Lacey. Okay, Dr. Janie, who leaves their phone behind? Now look, I just got off a boat with my twins. We went fishing all over the panhandle. We have what you call dry bags. We don't leave our boat. We don't leave our phone.
No, you got insurance on them. You get another phone. Get wet, get damaged, get another phone. Ain't nobody leaving. Nobody's leaving their phone.
Anywhere. Because what if we need it? What if we need it out in the middle of nowhere and we were on a little strip of land right off the Gulf where, like Horn Island, there's no people. We were there fishing alone, believe it or not, and we had our cell phones. Now, I'm an adult, a teen. What teen leaves their cell phone? None.
Exactly, Nancy. I have a teenager. His phone is with him in his pocket all the time, and he even brings his phone to the bathroom. So we know that teens do not leave their phone. It is their way to communicate. It is attached to them. So when I think about what we're talking about right here is, right, concealment. And I can't speak to what these young people did, but I can tell you, especially young people, when it comes to their phone and they're constantly posting things, it is their norm. So when it comes to deleting, hiding, or even going silent after a tragedy, to me, it's almost always driven by fear of potential blame, fear of consequences, fear of what the truth might mean about themselves.
Fear of your mother. Yeah. Your father and everybody else telling you what to do. Delete the messages. Yeah. But anyway, man, you mean to tell me that, let me get up out of here. Matter of fact, before we do that, let me take you guys to this page so y'all go watch the rest. Nancy Grace, man, she got a good channel over there. I love what she's doing. She's asking all the right questions. So y'all mean to tell me that out of all the people that was out there, nobody got into the water, this part that you take a few steps and it just becomes 20 feet and the current is so strong that it drags everybody, or it's like a washing machine. So nobody else witnessed that. Nobody else was in that part of the lake, the river, whatever it was. Only him, huh? So nobody got into that water. Only him, huh? Okay. Well, like I say, we will be getting to the bottom of it, man. Y'all comment. Y'all share the video. That's the most important with this here. Share this. I'm surprised they letting this video move like this, because this type of stuff they normally don't let go. But they doing it now. That's how you know it's big, man. That's how you know it's big. And like I say, the more we talk about it, the more it's going to get talked about. Somebody else going to talk about it. And then it's going to continue to push the pressure because everybody's on it. This is what you're supposed to be on. Now, we're going to cover the other stuff, like I said, on all the videos. But I want to see what's going to happen. I know y'all engaged, y'all in tune, y'all want to know what's going to happen as well. So I'm going to try my best to keep y'all updated every time I see something on this story. It's Compton Rick Rock with Compton Rick Rock TV. Leave y'all comments in the comment section. Oh, yeah. Subscribe to the channel. And most important, share the video. I'll catch all of y'all on the next one.
Like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, Compton Rick Rock TV. Also, hit that notification bell and catch every video when I drop it.